Solving multi-step equations is really no different than solving a two-step equation. You just have more steps, but all of the same rules apply. In most multi-step equations, you will have to combine like terms. To review that, like terms have the same variable and the same power. So for example, 5x and x, same variable, they can be combined, but x and y cannot. 9x squared and negative x squared, they're both the same variable with the same power, are like terms. And then of course constants like 2 and negative 60 can be combined. Unlike terms do not have the same power or not the same variable. So for example, 3x and x cubed. They have the same variable, x, but they do not have the same power. That's x to the first and x to the third. So those cannot be combined. And 9 and 9x, 9 by itself is a constant, but 9x is a variable term, so those cannot be combined. In this expression, we're going to identify the like terms and combine them to simplify the expression. You might choose to use highlighters to help you do this, or you can just use different kind of shapes. So I'm going to start with the highest power and work my way down. So I have a 4x squared, and I'm going to put a box around that and include the sign. I did not do a very good job of doing that. Let me try that again. There we go. Include the sign when you box it or highlight it. So that's a positive 4x squared. I don't see any other x squareds. So then going down from there, x's would be next. So I'm going to put a box around this positive x and a positive 6x, and here I have a negative 4x. So those are all like terms. And notice I have that negative 4x. That's one of those times that students will say, wait, that doesn't say negative 4x, that says minus 4x. Negative 4x or plus negative 4x is the same thing as minus 4x. And then last I have my constants. I've got a 5 and a negative 2. So when we combine like terms, 4x squared is the only, x squared is the only term like it, so that's going to come first. And then my x's, I have a negative 4x and positive 6x. That would give me 2x, plus 1x would give me positive 3x. So watch your signs on those, and remember that the coefficient is a 1 if there's nothing written there. It's an implied 1. And then last, I've got my 5 and negative 2, or 5 minus 2 is positive 3. So that's a skill that you may have to apply when you are doing multi-step equations. The other thing to review is the distributive property. To distribute means to give. Think of, if I'm distributing lunches, I'm going to give a lunch to everyone, not just the first person in line. So the number or variable or term outside of the parentheses must be distributed or multiplied by every term inside the parentheses, not just the first term. I'm not going to just distribute lunches to the first person in line. I will distribute them to everyone. So for example, in the expression 5 times 2x minus 4, the 5 is being multiplied by the expression 2x minus 4. So when you distribute it, you're going to take the 5 times the 2x and the 5 times the negative 4. Watch your signs, that's a negative 4. So 5 times 2x would give us 10x, and 5 times negative 4 would give us negative 20. So when we apply this to solving multi-step equations, the first thing you will do is eliminate any parentheses. Usually this means using the distributive property. We do parentheses first because we're following the order of operations, and parentheses comes first. So before I do that, I'm going to draw my fence down my equal sign so that when I'm keeping things on each side, I know which side it's going on compared to the equal sign. So now I'm going to distribute my 4 to the 2x and 4 to the negative 3. So I have 4 times 2x is 8x, and 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. And copy the rest of the problem down, plus 5x. Notice I did not distribute to that 5x because it wasn't inside the parentheses. Next, I'm going to combine like terms on each side of the equal sign. So starting with the left side of the equal sign, I've got an 8x and a positive 5x. Those can be combined. That will give me 13x. Now, you might be thinking negative 12 and 53, those are both constants. Can I combine them? No, we're only going to, right now, combine like terms on each side of the equal sign or each side of the equation. So just copy the rest of your problem. Once you get to a two-step equation, you're just going to follow what you did before. So remember, you need to eliminate the constants first. I have a negative 12, so I'm going to do the inverse and add 12 to both sides. And simplify. Negative 12 and positive 12, those will cancel out. And I'm left with 13x equals 53 plus 12, which is 65. Then the inverse of 13 times x, divide by the coefficient of 13. And 13 divided by 13 cancels out, gives you 1, or 1x, equals 5. Now we're going to check our answer using 5 in place of x. So 4 times, parentheses, 2 times 5, minus 3, parentheses, plus 5, times my x is 5, equals 53. So now if I do order of operations, I'm going to look at my parentheses first, and inside the parentheses I have 2 times 5. So I've got 4 parentheses, 2 times 5 is 10, minus 3 plus 5 times 5 equals 53. And then 10 minus 3 is 7. So now I have 4 times 7 plus 5 times 5 equals 53. Now that I've gotten rid of my parentheses, no exponents, multiply or divide next. So I've got 4 times 7 and 5 times 5, which is 28 plus 25 equals 53. And then I can add last. 28 plus 25 is 53 equals 53. So it checks out. And we're done.